Hi, my name is Mike Norton. I am the Managing Director of Lewis Legal Limited, and I'm a private investigator specialising in the assistance to the defence of miscarriages of justice, false allegations. What I want to talk about today, as briefly as I can, is a major problem that we are seeing with regards to the way evidence is obtained from mobile telephones and then used to support a conviction against a person. So, what actually happens? The police, they will obtain your electronic devices. For argument's sake, let's keep it simple and say your iPhone. So they take your iPhone, you give them permission to access everything that's on that iPhone. They carry out a full extraction of everything that's on that iPhone. That includes the images, it include text messages, WhatsApp messages, in some cases Snapchat that hasn't vanished and has been saved. What it also includes is deleted items. So everything that you've looked at, every message you've sent that you've deleted is still there on your mobile telephone. What the police then do is they take that extraction and they feed it into a piece of software. The piece of software, such as Cellbrite, is just one piece of software that the police use. We also use Cellbrite, or the company that I use to obtain my forensic extractions, they can use Cellbrite to assist me in going through the data. So what we discover is, if we can obtain the full forensic image, is everything, everything that was on that telephone. What the police do, however, is, as I say, they cherry pick what they want to pull from that mobile telephone. So they may decide to pull a series of text messages, images, emails, anything that assists the prosecution and undermines the defence, quite often choosing not to obtain and disclose evidence which could undermine the prosecution and assist your defence. It really is a cherry picking exercise. Sadly, what I discovered over the years is law firms, or some law firms, and some, even the CPS, aren't really aware that this is what the police are doing. It's not until we insist on obtaining a digital extraction ourselves from that police force prior to conviction that we discover just how much the police have chosen to exclude from their report. So what you're actually getting, quite simply, is evidence that is being passed by the police to the CPS and to the defence. The defence unwittingly agree that that is evidence. The CPS accept that evidence. It is then narrowed down and presented as the important evidence is then presented to a jury. Now, the jury, of course, are these people that decide whether or not you are guilty or whether or not you are innocent. And the rhetorical question must be, had the jury seen everything that was on that mobile telephone, including exchanges of text messages between the defendant and the complainant, which is often not there, would they have still come to the same decision? In effect, what the police are doing is cherry picking exactly what they want. The CPS, who will decide whether or not to charge you for offences, or the jury, who more importantly will decide whether or not you are guilty or innocent. They will cherry pick what they want to send. And this is happening in many, many, many cases. The advice I would give to you is that you must get your defence firm to insist on receiving a full forensic image of that phone. Do not settle for the police report that they produce. Once your defence then have that full forensic image, they can use a firm like myself, who will instruct the forensic company to carry out a full forensic download of that image, or any forensic company that's out there who can do this. And then you need somebody to sit and go through the evidence, look at the deleted items, look at the evidence that the police have chosen not to present to your defence, that have chosen not to present to the CPS, and again, more importantly, have chosen not to present to the jury who will decide your innocence or your guilt. This is a gross miscarriage of justice, and this is going on all of the time. And I will stand challenged by any police force who are prepared to say that this is not what they are doing, because I'm prepared to say that yes, you are doing this, and this is how many people who are victims of false allegations, victims of miscarriages of justice, are ending up in with custodial sentences, or guilty with non-custodial, yet guilty. So that is my advice to you, is once you can get that image, have your own report prepared, you can then see exactly what the police have chosen not to disclose. And that choice not to disclose, I allege, is a miscarriage of justice, and is, in my opinion, and again I allege, corruption and collusion within the police force, and a failure to carry out a full, fair and impartial investigation. And just to remind the police forces out there that they have followed the guidelines of the National College of Policing guidelines. They're there on the internet, anybody can view them, and you need to be obtaining this and looking at this to see exactly where the police are failing us. So thank you very much for your time, and I'd like to say, after this first, let's call it a podcast, there will be more to follow. Thank you.